Clayton. I run a development company essentially. We build applications for and with media agencies, particularly for big brands. Seems we do a lot of, particularly films. So we did Hancock, Rambo, bit of work on Bond as well, that sort of stuff. Got a couple of other clients as well. But, so I want to talk about what you have to do to build a Facebook app. So I don't think anybody's talked about where you go from A to the final thing here before, so I thought we'd go back talking about that. So the key thing to remember is that Facebook apps and web apps are very different. You have to treat your audience very differently. They are unique, they expect social features, and you have to kind of obey by the rules of Facebook, MySpace, or Bebo, whoever you're playing it. They provide integration points, which you don't get in web apps. You don't have integration points, you just have a web page and you play around with it as expected. So I'm hoping that you've seen quite a few of these before, but just to run through them, there's quite a lot of ones, especially a lot of them aren't documented a lot of the time. But Canvas pages is essentially the general page you get to see. Requests and invites, you've all seen those come through surely. You get an invite to join an app. Profile boxes, profile tabs. The tabs are new, but this is sort of real estate on users' profiles. Feed stories. The interesting one on this, which you very rarely see used, are the form feeds and publisher. They allow you to publish information onto another user's form without their permission. I've yet to see any apps really use this. An app we've got coming out very shortly called FanFeed. We've done a lot of sort of interactive stuff with users, and we monitor your friends' usage of Facebook, and we'll report that directly to them without them having to install the application. If you know how to use the session system, you can do a lot of stuff, and we've got this all past Facebook's Q&A and other terms and conditions. You've just got to read between the lines. Notifications and email, I guess you've seen. Some of the other ones, like poke, messages, notes, videos, photos, and statuses, you very rarely see, but it is possible to send poke from the application. It is also possible to send messages. You just have to direct to other URLs with headers. It's not very well documented, and it's very often used. So think about these when you're designing an app. It is where your benefit will come from. Don't think about it from a website perspective. Think about these points. This is where you engage with your user. Okay, so we're going to go through the basic life cycle. We normally start out with concepts. Concepts are crazy. The way to do this, and the way we found what works for us, is have two different types of brainstorming sessions. Crazy ones where anything goes, like doesn't have to be PC, just suggest everything. It's not going to make it in there. Then have sensible ones thinking, how do I actually build that? Is this realistic? This is taken directly from Apple. This is the kind of stuff they do. So say two types of brainstorming. Make sure these are separate meetings, same guys involved, just to break the brain patterns a bit. Pony syndrome. This is sort of the manager or the guy who signed the check wants everything. If you give everything to the user, they'll grind to a halt. It won't work. So think about this. Like, bear in mind that KISS is one of the major acronyms we use all the time, which is keep it simple, stupid. If you develop web apps that come up in that area, you'll know about this. Just keep with your base functionality and keep it simple. So if you think about this and think about your apps from this perspective, you tend to have more success. We've often found that apps with more complicated features, users just don't understand, you have to then explain them, and you're just breaking the cycles. So we go from concepts, we then go into design work. So what we tend to do is we go workflows, wireframes, mockups, and then the actual design on the page. So to do this, I'll give you a good example. This is a web app, not a Facebook app, because I couldn't show the slides for that because the client wouldn't let me. So this is a web app we're currently developing, which is for online ticket sales. Think of Eventbrite, Haybook tickets for now. So we do wireframes workflows, similar to this. This is actually a workflow. So this is a HTML page, but just boxes on it, and you can click through this, navigate it, test it. We give these out to users. We don't hide ideas. Ideas go everywhere. These go out on our web pages everywhere. People can try them. Mockups, version 1 mockup, change your mockups from feedback. And then finally, sort of live site. So we actually try to do, as near as possible, pixel perfect mockups. The idea being that we can then get feedback before we've even started building an app. This is crucial because, trust me, nobody will get an app right first time. Media agencies really struggle with this idea that when you launch an app, you're probably at 30 to 40% build stage. Your major work is actually in iterations later on and optimizing it and finding out what works. You may have the perfect idea, but I don't know anybody yet who's got it right first time. You may be in the right ballpark though. Coding it, loads of choices, pick what you're comfortable with. Facebook support PHP and JavaScript straight out of the box officially, but people have written all the other libraries out there, so they're pretty well supported. No point in writing your own, just pick one. There's nothing really to go wrong with. The major choice you get with coding, though, is how to do it, iframe or HTML. And this is kind of the first stumbling block where a lot of guys from my experience, tend to go down the wrong route, or what we believe to be the wrong route. You can make both ways, you can make apps, but some have advantages and disadvantages. Just to let you know, the major advantage of iPhones is you get full JavaScript support, and you can reuse your current designs. Better targeting, you see all the ones that are there. But I was on the phone's Facebook earlier this week.